Hey guys, welcome back to Hybrid. Today, we're shifting our focus from strength to power, uncovering the key elements that can make you not only a faster, but a more resilient runner. In our previous videos of this series, we've dove into the benefits of building strength for improved running performance. So if you missed that, make sure to catch up before continuing with this video. Research consistently emphasizes the importance of power in tandem with endurance for well-trained athletes. Let's break down the key points to revolutionize your training routine. Firstly, recent studies have shown that simultaneous plyometric strength and endurance training was shown to enhance the 5K time of well-trained endurance athletes. This improvement isn't accompanied by changes in VO2 max, meaning that the secret lies in improved neuromuscular characteristics like improved rate of force development and improved running economy. Simply put, runners that strength train expend less energy with more power in every stride, allowing them to run farther, run faster, for longer. All right, no more delay. Let's dive into the 4 exercises that you can add to your training plan. Today, we're gonna aim for explosive movements with about 5 to 8 reps per set, maintaining about 1 to 3 minutes of rest between sets. But as with all of these exercises, find the rep scheme and rest that works for you, where you're pushing yourself hard enough to improve without being sore that it affects your next workout. All right, so the first exercise we're gonna go over is called an explosive sprinter's lunge. So just like a regular lunge, I'm gonna lunge forward just like this. The sprinter part of the lunge is just when I crouch more forward. Imagine that I'm in like a sprint position getting ready to start a sprint. The only difference is the angle of my hip crease, okay? I'm gonna keep my back nice and straight until I feel a stretch in my glute here. What that does is it targets our glute and our hamstring in a more stretched position, making it more optimal to build strength throughout the full range of motion of those muscles. So without weights, it looks like this. I'm gonna go all the way down, and I'm gonna lean my body forward so that I'm really loading up that glute. Keep my back nice and straight, and then I'm exploding back up. Just like that. So when I do this exercise, I like to do all of my reps on one side before I switch to the other side. But if you wanna save time and you wanna do both at the same time, feel free to do so. Again, we're going for 5 to 8 reps, max explosiveness, max intensity for every one of those reps. So with dumbbells, it looks like this. All right, so the second movement is gonna be a reverse squat. We're gonna be using a band. If you have a cable machine, feel free to use a cable machine, but I don't have one with me, so I'm using a band. So what it's gonna look like, you're gonna attach the band to something nice and stable so it doesn't hit you. So the way that I like to attach the band to my feet is I like to go over the top hole and then wrap my toes around like that. And then I'm gonna get some tension in the band. So I have this set up really nice because I can hold on to the top. If the band isn't super hard, then you don't have to worry about this. If you don't have something stable, then put a really heavy weight over your head and just hold on to it. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on, let the elastic pull me, and then I'm gonna squeeze all the way up and try and hold that position for 1 or 2 seconds. Again, we're working on explosiveness here. So in between the reps, feel free to take a couple breaths if you really want. We're really trying to make every single rep as good, as high quality as possible so that we're activating the most muscle fibers. Because we're looking for that neurological adaptation, we really want to focus on activating as many muscle fibers as possible. This means that we're not working on endurance at the same time. We're working on focusing on 1 rep at a time, getting the most out of every single rep. I'm going to move back if I want more weight, and I want more weight if this feels too easy for me throughout those 5 to 8 reps. So I'm gonna move back a little bit. Really exploding on the way up. Hi, Tika. Hi. Hi. All right, go away. Thanks. All right, so obviously this exercise is targeting the hip flexors, which become increasingly important the faster we go. For a decent number of people, this could be one of the muscles that really is limiting your top end speed. So that's why we're targeting it here. All right, so the third exercise we're gonna be doing is the classic jump squat. So we're gonna be using dumbbells just like a regular jump squat. Just think about what you would normally do if you're going to jump as high as you possibly can. If that means your feet are a little bit wider, for you, that's totally fine. If it's a little bit narrower for you, that's totally fine as well. I like to be just wider than hip width. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go all the way down. My hands are gonna be attached to dumbbells, so I'm not gonna swing too much. If going lower for you means you can jump higher, go lower. The goal here is max explosiveness. As long as you're not gonna injure yourself, find the way to do the exercise that you get the most out of it. Okay, so for me, it looks like this. I'm gonna go all the way down, and then land nice and soft. And then I'm gonna reset between each rep because, like I said, we're not working on endurance, we're just working on explosiveness. So don't be afraid to take a breath in between each rep. So with dumbbells, again, find the weight that works for you, and then it's just gonna look like this. So the whole time, I'm nice and controlled going down, pause at the bottom for a sec, explode up, and then as I'm landing, just make sure you land nice and soft, be really nice to your ankles and knees. So a couple quick tips on that are really important so you don't injure yourself. Make sure that when you're going down, your knees aren't caving in and your back isn't rounding, okay? As long as you're doing that, you should be safe to go. Okay, so the fourth and final exercise, I like to call toe slaps. So because we're working on our calves here and we're not gonna be using weight just because it'll be a little bit too much strain on the upper body, if we're trying to target our calves, then we don't wanna be limited by the rest of our body, okay? So for this one, feel free to increase the number of reps, still focusing on max explosiveness each time, okay? Like we talked about in the beginning of the video, one of the benefits of doing these power type exercises is we're increasing our rate of force development, or how fast our body is able to produce force. Another metric of measuring that is ground contact time. If you look at some of the best runners, their ground contact time is very, very low. And one of the ways to improve that is by doing an exercise like this. So all it looks like is I'm gonna make sure my body's nice and stiff, and I'm gonna slap the ground with my feet. Basically, I'm flexing as fast as I can, exploding into the ground, lifting my toes back up, making sure the ground contact time is really short. That's the goal here. Even though we're targeting the calves here, this requires total body stiffness. So really contracting your core, keeping your core nice and tight is gonna help you increase the height of each jump, which is not just important for this exercise, but for running in general. We really wanna make sure that our hips are nice and stable and our core is nice and tight while we're running. All right, so there's 4 power focused exercises that you can do to run faster. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.